The announcement that this is all around the healthcare space is a bit of spin from Microsoft, and it's really focused on other areas.
Well, I think it's definitely real. I think it's a very smart move for helping Microsoft expand into the enterprise AI space. But healthcare aside and the growth of that in that market aside, what I find fascinating is if you take the AI speech recognition capabilities of Nuance, if you marry it with a number of conversations that Microsoft teams can listen to, and then you think about where Microsoft could go if it's successful in some of its pursuit of buying social media platforms. It went after TikTok, it's going after Discord. I think it's not beyond the realm of possibility that going after something like Clubhouse with now a much more highly educated speech to transcript tool could definitely be on the cards.
Is this going to put Microsoft in the midst of a data privacy kind of question mark that they may regret going forward?
I think it could absolutely put Microsoft into the middle of that conversation, but I don't know if it's necessarily one that would be regrettable. I think Microsoft, as we know, has had to navigate antitrust in the past, and I'm sure with those lessons behind it, then it'll definitely find a way to navigate this in a more sophisticated way as it moves forward.
Anne, I had a question about SPACs and specifically your focus at Wheelhouse. I know you and Brent Montgomery, with his background, focus on entertainment and celebrities and where that comes together with finance. What do you think of all these celebrity SPACs? Shaq, Steph Curry, Serena Williams, A-Rod. Would you be investing in them? The SEC had to come out with a warning saying just because it's a celebrity that you know doesn't mean you should invest there.
Yeah, I think equally, just because there's a celebrity attached doesn't mean we shouldn't invest there. I think one of the things that has been so interesting is the fact that celebrities, creators, influencers have found an ability to tune in into finding products and solutions that really solve consumer needs. And that's, a recent example, Jessica Alba is clearly on the cutting edge with clean products. Honest going public's a sign of that. And Serena Williams in the private sphere and her venture capital fund is really leaning into providing funds to women and diverse founders who are otherwise struggling to find capital. So I think celebrity can really be married with substance, and they're proving that in lots of different asset classes right now.
And what did you make of the $40 billion price tag for Grab?
Yeah, I think the air's a little bit thin up there. And I will caveat this by saying I really like Grab. I think the addressable market's impressive. There's a massive ride-hailing space across Southeast Asia. But when you unpack the numbers, that $40 billion is roughly 25 times net revenue in 2020. So I think it's a very attractive business. I think it's a good SPAC team that's done good diligence. But I would say this is pretty fully priced. And while I love the fact that now you've got US retail investors with access to that geography, I would be watching the valuation as it continues to move forward.
What about SPACs in general? And do you think we've seen the peak? Do you think it's going to cool off? We've already seen some of the post-IPO drops go completely down to zero.
I think it's important to try to unpack, who the different SPAC players are. They're not all created equal. We've got some folks in the SPAC market with very long track records, folks like John Ledecky, who've done this for a very long time. And I think it's looking at the quality of the SPAC management team as folks try to pick and choose which ones to back. I think one thing, Sarah, that could be coming that could put a little bit of a crack in the SPAC market is the SEC now watching how warrants are going to be treated. And if we see a lot of these SPACs now having to treat those as liabilities, it can cause real volatility in the ways in which these businesses have to report their earnings. And I think that's an important technical point, together obviously with interest rates, that may put a little bit of a pause into what's been amazing momentum.
We'll keep an eye on it. Anne Barry, so good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.